Let me explain the three laws behind your tariff bill. So you're CUSMA compliant. So was I. Your paperwork's right. So you think. Your broker filed everything correctly. So you feel. But you still got a tariff invoice. How? How does that happen? Well, you were CUSMA compliant, and your tariff exposure are two different things, governed by two different laws, and most manufacturers, through their own fault, don't know the difference. I'm Jack Jackson. This is Manufacturer Daily. Today I'm going to explain the three legal frameworks that are hitting Canadian manufacturers right now, being May 2026. In plain language, no law degree here, because understanding the difference between these three laws is worth the money that I already lived this experience. So, when manufacturers ask me, why are we getting tariff bills on goods that are fully CUSMA compliant? My answer is always the same. CUSMA is a trade agreement. The tariffs hitting you are U.S. domestic law. CUSMA cannot, or USMCA, or TMEC in Mexico, cannot override the U.S. law. So the law number one is, well, let me walk you through this. Law number one, CUSMA, USMCA, TMEC in Mexico, is a negotiated agreement between all three countries that governs the tariffs, rules of origin, market access for all qualifying Canadian, U.S., Mexican goods. It provides preferential, usually zero, duty rates at the U.S. border. The key word is qualify. Your goods have to meet the rules of origin. They have to be documented. The broker has to file. Everything has to be claimed correctly. When it's all right, CUSMA protects you from normal tariffs between countries. But the critical limitation is CUSMA is an agreement between governments. USMCA is an agreement between governments. TMEC is an agreement between governments. But it cannot override U.S. domestic law. And this is where the next section is the most explanatory. Section 232 is a law in the U.S. which is national security tariff. It oversees all the old NAFTA to USMCA, CUSMA, and everything else. It gives the President of the U.S. unilateral authority to impose tariffs on any import that the Commerce Department determines as a national threat to the U.S. It has nothing to do with trade agreement. It overrides them all. Currently, it's 50% on steel and aluminum. No exceptions. Your goods must be 100% compliant and still face, your goods are still 100% compliant, but they still face Section 232 and get charged 50%. And as you can tell, back in one of my other videos, when we had a customer or a client receive a huge increase in tariffs as of April 6th, when this came into effect. Anyways, that's a long story. I can read in the newsletter. So before April 6th, derivative goods, which were finished goods, so a derivative goods, a finished good using, say, Chinese steel, aluminum, was not charged the full amount of tariff. It was only charged the amount of tariff that the steel or aluminum was in the product. But that changed on April 6th, where now, so say your product's worth $1,000 and it went over the border, and was only $100 worth of aluminum or steel in it. You got charged the tariff, 25% on that $100. Now, if your product's $1,000 and it goes over, you get charged the tariff on the $1,000. The tariff at 50% on $100 was $50. Now it's 50% on the $1,000 is $500. That's how it hits. So, same machine, same metal, same everything, but it all changed on April 6th, and people are just starting to, as of middle May here, getting their invoices from their brokers. Section 22, by the way, has no expiry date. It's permanent until the president removes it. So there is no date to say July 1st is going to happen, change things. It sits there until somebody wants to remove it. The other one is Section 122. It's a surcharge that's from back in 1974, where the president has the authority to put a temporary surcharge on any import products up to 15%. So current rate is 10. But unlike Section 232, CUSMA products, USMCA products, are currently exempt. So Section 122 does have an expiry as of July 24th this year. When it replaces, if anything, we don't know. That date will determine where they go from there. But to understand, there is a 10% tariff global because we have CUSMA, USMCA. Any goods that go through there are exempt from getting this 10%, but go back to raw aluminum, steel, derivative products, any items made with aluminum and steel, you get 50%. It's very confusing, yeah. So, pulling that all together, there are 3 laws, 3 separate legal tracks, but you still get a tariff invoice. And this is where you need to look at everything and detail it. We can help you with that. If you quoted a contract before April 6th, the economics have changed. This is a conversation you need to have with your customer before your product leaves the dock next time, because the invoice is going to arrive at least 3 weeks later, which is probably hitting you now if you did it already, or if you quoted and you haven't shipped, you're going to get it 3 weeks over a month from now. If you have product that's less than 15% of total weight, there is a different scale. It gets complicated. Again, we can help you with that if you want. Give us a call. And right now, plain language is make sure, break down all 3 laws, including a side-by-side comparison and key dates to watch. We'll do that for you. This is Manufacturer Daily Update. Check our newsletter, manufacturerdaily.com. Also will be information for you. We'll continue to make episodes and help you out. This is Jack Jackson. Have a good day.